The Mendocino College Online Repertory Theater is proud to present this audio adaptation of Sophocles' classic Greek tragedy, Antigone. The play has been directed by Reid Edelman and features students in the Fall 2020 theater performance class.
The cast includes Sophia Butler as Antigone, Jasmine Norris as her sister Ismene, John Pegan as Creon, and Klier as his son Haimon. Gary Hudson plays the role of the blind seer Teiresias, and Maria Monti plays both the Sentry and, later in the recording, the role of Creon's wife, Eurydice.
Phaedra Swearengin plays the role of the messenger, and the members of the chorus include Hafsa Stewart, Alicia Bales, Ellen Weed, Brittani McKemy, Virginia Hanley, and Hannah Hinrichs.
Stage management has been provided by Shianne Robertson, and sound effects and editing are by David Wolf. The entire performance runs about 50 minutes.
The action unfolds on the steps of the palace of Creon, king of Thebes. Several years before the play begins, Creon's nephews, Polynices and Eteocles, sons of Oedipus, the former king, had agreed to alternate as kings of Thebes. When Eteocles refused to give up power to Polynices, the latter collected a foreign army and attacked the city.
In the battle, the Thebans triumphed, and the two brothers killed each other, with Eteocles defending the city and Polynices attacking it. The action begins immediately after this battle.
Ismene, dear sister, there is something we must do.
Why do you speak so strangely?
Listen, Ismene. Creon buried our brother Eteocles with military honors, gave him a soldier's funeral, and it was right that he should. But Polynices? He fought as bravely and died as miserably. They say that Creon has sworn no one shall bury him, no one mourn for him, but this body must lie in the fields, a sweet treasure for carrion birds to find as they search for food. That is what they say, and our good Creon is coming here to announce it publicly. And the penalty? Stoning to death in the public square. There it is. And now you can prove what you are, a true sister or a traitor to your family.
Antigone, you are mad! What could I possibly do?
You must decide whether you will help me or not.
I do not understand you. Help you in what?
Ismene, I am going to bury him. Will you come?
Bury him? You have just said the new law forbids it.
He is my brother, and he is your brother too.
But think of the danger. Think what Creon will do.
Creon is not enough to stand in my way.
Ah, sister. Oedipus died, everyone hating him. But oh, Antigone, think how much more terrible than these our own death would be if we should go against Creon and do what he has forbidden.
If that is what you think, I should not want you even if you asked to come. You have made your choice. You can be what you want to be, but I will bury him. And if I must die, I say this crime is holy. You may do as you like, since apparently the laws of the gods mean nothing to you.
They mean a great deal to me, but I have no strength to break laws that were made for the public good.
That must be your excuse, I suppose. But as for me, I will bury the brother I love.
So fiery! You should be cold with fear.
Go away, Ismene. I shall be hating you soon, and the dead will too, for your words are hateful. Leave me my foolish plan. I am not afraid of danger. If it means death, it will not be the worst of deaths. Death without honor.
Go then, if you feel that you must. You are unwise, but a loyal friend indeed to those who love you.
Polynices, their commander, roused them with windy phrases.
Against our 7 gates in a yawning ring, The famished spears came onward in the night, but before his jaws were sated with our blood, he was thrown back.
For God hates utterly the bray of bragging tongues.
We heard his shouts of triumph high in the air turn to screams.
These two only, brothers in blood, face to face in matchless rage, mirroring each the other's death, clashed in long combat.
But now, in the beautiful morning of victory, let Thebes of the many chariots sing for joy. With hearts for dancing we'll take leave of war. Our temples shall be sweet with hymns of praise.
But now, at last, our new king is coming. Creon of Thebes, what is his counsel? Why has he summoned the old ones to hear him?
I have summoned you here this morning because I know that I can depend upon you. You never hesitated in your duty to our late ruler Oedipus. And when he died, your loyalty was transferred to his children. Unfortunately, as you know, his two sons, the princes Eteocles and Polynices, have killed each other in battle. And I, as the next in blood, have succeeded to the full power of the throne. I say to you at the very outset that I would never have any dealings with an enemy of the people. No one values friendship more highly than I, but we must remember that friends made at the risk of wrecking our ship are not real friends at all. This is why I have made the following decision concerning the sons of Oedipus. Eteocles, who died as a man should die, fighting for his country, is to be buried with full military honors, with all the ceremony that is usual when the greatest heroes die. But his brother Polynices is to have no burial. No man is to touch him or say the least prayer for him. He is to lie on the plain unburied, and the birds and the scavenging dogs can do with him whatever they like. This is my command, and you can see the wisdom behind it.
If that is your will, Creon, you have the right to enforce it. We are yours.
I'll not say that I'm out of breath from running, King, because every time I stop to think about what I have to tell you, I felt like going back. And all the time a voice kept saying, "You fool, don't you know you're walking straight into trouble?" And then another voice, "Yes, but if you let someone else get the news to Creon first, it will be even worse than that for you." But good sense won out. At least I hope it was good sense. And here I am with a story that makes no sense at all. But I'll tell it anyhow, because as they say, what's going to happen's going to happen. And I
Come to the point. What have you to say?
I did not do it. I did not see who did it. You must not punish me for what someone else has done.
A comprehensive defense, more effective perhaps if I knew its purpose. Come, what is it?
A dreadful thing. I don't know how to put
Out
it.
with it.
Well then, the dead man, Polynices, out there, someone knew dust on the slimy flesh. Someone has given it burial that way and gone.
And the man who dared do this?
I swear I do not know. You must believe me. The body just mounded over with light dust, you see. And then what a scene there was. Every man of us accusing the other. We all proved the other man did it. We all had proof that we could not have done it. We were ready to take hot iron in our hands, walk through fire, swear by all the gods. It was not I. I did not know who it was, but it was not I. And then, when this came to nothing, someone said you had to be told the news, and one of us had to do it. We threw the dice, and the bad luck fell on me. So here I am, no happier to be here than you are to have me. Nobody likes the one who brings bad news.
I have been wondering, King, can it be that the gods have done this?
Stop! The gods? Intolerable! No. From the very beginning, there have been those who have whispered together. Stiff-necked anarchists, putting their heads together, scheming against me and allies. And they have bribed my own guard to do this thing. Find that man. Bring him here to me. Unless you bring me the man, your death will be the least of your problems.
Bring me the man? I'd like nothing better than bringing him the man. But bringing him or not, you have seen the last of me.
Numberless are the world's wonders, but none more wonderful than man.
The storm-gray sea yields to his prows. The huge crests bear him high. Earth, holy and inexhaustible, is graven with shining furrows where his plows have gone.
Words also, and thought as rapid as air, he fashions to his good use. Statecraft is his.
From every wind he has made himself secure. From all but one. In the late wind of death he cannot stand.
O fate of man, working both good and evil. When the laws are kept, how proudly his city stands. When the laws are broken, what of his city then?
What does this mean? Surely this captive woman is the Princess Antigone. Why should she be taken?
Here is the one who did it. We caught her in the very act of burying him. Where is Creon?
Just coming from the house.
What has happened? Why have you come back so soon?
Oh, King, a man should never be too sure of anything. I would have sworn that you'd not see me here again. Your anger frightened me so, and the things you threatened me with. But how could I tell then that I'd be able to solve the case so soon? Here is this woman. She is the guilty one. We found her trying to bury him. Take her then, question her, judge her as you will. I am through with the whole thing now, and glad of it.
But this is Antigone. Why have you brought her here?
She was burying him, I tell you.
Is this the truth?
I saw her with my own eyes. Can I say more?
The details. Come, tell me quickly.
It was like this. After those terrible threats of yours, King, we went back and brushed the dust away from the body. The flesh was soft by now and stinking. So we sat on a hill to windward and kept guard. Then, suddenly, a storm of dust roared up from the earth, and when we looked, there was Antigone. She wept and cried on heaven to damn the hands that had done this thing. And then she brought more dust and sprinkled wine 3 times for her brother's ghost. We ran and took her at once. She was not afraid, not even when we charged her with what she had done. She denied nothing.
And you, Antigone, you with your head hanging, do you confess this thing?
I do. I deny nothing.
Sentry, you may go. Tell me briefly, had you heard my proclamation touching this matter?
It was public. Could I help hearing it?
And yet, you dared defy the law?
I dared. Your edict, king, was strong, but all your strength is weakness itself against the immortal, unrecorded laws of God. You smile at me. Ah, Creon, think me a fool if you like, but it may well be that a fool convicts me of folly.
This girl is guilty of a double insolence, breaking the given laws and boasting of it.
Go, some of you, arrest Ismene. I accuse her equally.
Creon, what more do you want than my death?
Nothing. That gives me everything.
Then I beg you, kill me. There is no guilt in reverence for the dead.
But Eteocles, was he not your brother too?
My brother too.
And you insult his memory?
The dead man would not say that I insult it.
He would. For you honor a traitor as much as him. He made war on his country. Eteocles defended it.
Nevertheless, there are honors due all the dead.
An enemy is an enemy, even dead.
It is my nature to join in love, not hate.
Go then. Join them. If you must have your love, find it in hell.
But see, Ismene comes. Those tears are sisterly. The cloud that shadows her eyes rains down gentle sorrow.
You too, Ismene. Snake in my ordered house, sucking my blood stealthily. And all the time I never knew that these two sisters were aiming for my throne. Ismene, do you confess your share in this crime or deny it? Answer me.
Yes, if she will let me say so, I am guilty.
No, Ismene, you have no right to say so. You would not help me, and I will not have you help me.
But now I know what you meant, and I am here to join you, to take my share of punishment.
The dead man and the gods who rule the dead know whose act this was. Words are not friends.
Do you refuse me, Antigone? I want to die with you. I, too, have a duty that I must discharge to the dead.
You shall not lessen my death by sharing it.
What do I care for life when you are dead? Can I do nothing?
Yes, save yourself. I shall not envy you.
I beg you to observe these girls. One has just now lost her mind. The other, it seems, has never had a mind at all.
Your own son's bride.
There are places enough for him to push his plow. I want no wicked women for my son.
Oh, dearest Haimon, how your father wrongs you.
I've had enough of your childish talk of marriage.
Do you really intend to steal this girl from your son?
No, death will do that for me.
Then she must die.
Oh, you dazzle me. But enough of this talk. You there, take them away and guard them well.
Fortunate is the man who has never tasted God's vengeance. I have seen this gathering sorrow from time long past loom upon Oedipus's children. Generation from generation takes the compulsive rage of the enemy god. So lately, this last flower of Oedipus's line drank the sunlight. But now a passionate word and a handful of dust have closed up all its beauty.
No pride on earth is free of the curse of heaven. The ancient wisdom speaks for our own time. Fate works most for woe, with folly's fairest show. Man's little pleasure is the spring of sorrow.
But here is Haimon, king, the last of all your sons. Is it grief for Antigone that brings him here, and bitterness at being robbed of his bride?
Son, you have heard my final judgment on that girl. Have you come here hating me, or have you come with deference and with love, whatever I do?
I am your son, Father. You are my guide. You make things clear for me, and I obey you. No marriage means more to me than your continuing wisdom.
Good. That is the way to behave. Subordinate everything else, my son, to your father's will. You are right not to lose your head over this woman. Let her find her husband in hell. I'll have no dealings with law breakers, critics of the government. Whoever is chosen to govern should be obeyed, must be obeyed in all things, great and small, just and unjust. Anarchy, anarchy! Show me a greater evil.
Father, reason is God's crowning gift to man, and you are right to warn me against losing mine. I cannot say, I hope that I shall never want to say, that you have reasoned badly, yet you're not in a position to know everything that people say or do, or what they feel. Your temper terrifies them. Everyone will tell you only what you like to hear. But I, at any rate, can listen, and I have heard them muttering and whispering in the dark about this girl. They say no woman has ever so unreasonably died so shameful a death for a generous act. She covered her brother's body? Is this indecent? She kept him from dogs and vultures. Is this a crime? Death? She should have all the honor that we can give her. This is the way they talk out there in the city. You must believe me. Nothing is closer to me than your happiness. What could be closer? Must not any son value his father's fortune as his father does his? I beg you, do not be unchangeable. Do not believe that you alone can be right. A man like that, when you know him, turns out empty. It is not reason never to yield to reason. In flood time, you can see how some trees bend, and because they bend, even their twigs are safe, while stubborn trees are torn up, roots and all. And the same thing happens in sailing. Make your sheet fast, never slacken, and over you go, head over heels and under, and there's your voyage. Forget you are angry. Let yourself be moved. I know I am young, but please, the reasonable thing is to learn from those who can teach.
You will do well to listen to him, King. If what he says is sensible, and you, Haimon, must listen to your father. Both speak well.
You consider it right for a man of my years and experience to go to school to a boy?
It is not right if I am wrong. But if I am young and right, what does my age matter?
You think it right to stand up for an anarchist?
Not at all. I pay no respect to criminals.
Then she is not a criminal? My voice is the one voice giving orders in this city.
It is no city if it takes orders from one voice.
The state is the king.
You have no right to trample on God's right.
Oh, fool! Adolescent fool! Taken in by a woman.
You'll never see me taken in by anything vile.
Every word you say is for her.
And for you. and for me, and for the gods.
You'll never marry her while she lives.
Then she must die, but her death will cause another.
Another? Have you lost your senses? Is this an open threat? I swear, you regret this superior tone of yours. Now, by God, I swear by all the gods in heaven above us, you'll watch it. I swear you shall. Bring her out. Bring the woman out. Let her die before his eyes, here, this instant, with her bridegroom beside her.
Not here, no. She will not die here, King. And you will never see my face again. Go on raving as long as you've a friend to endure you.
Gone. Creon, a young man in a rage, is dangerous.
Oh, let him do or dream to do more than a man can. He shall not save these girls from death.
These girls? You've sentenced them both?
No, you are right. I will not kill the one whose hands are clean.
But Antigone?
I will carry her far away out there in the wilderness and lock her living in a vault of stone. And there let her pray to the gods of hell. They are her only gods. Perhaps they will show her an escape from death.
Love, unconquerable waster of rich men, here you have made bright anger strike between father and son, and none has conquered but love. Merciless Aphrodite.
But I can no longer stand in awe of this, nor seeing what I see keep back my tears. Here is Antigone, passing to that chamber where all find sleep at last.
Look upon me, friends, and pity me, turning back at the night's edge to say goodbye to the sun that shines for me no longer. Now, sleepy death summons me down to Acheron.
Yet not unpraised, not without a kind of honor. You walk at last into the underworld, untouched by sickness, broken by no sword.
Reverence is a virtue, but strength lives in established law. That must prevail. You have made your choice. Your death is the doing of your conscious hand.
Then let me go, since your words are bitter, and the very light of the sun is cold to me. Lead me to my vigil, where I must have neither love nor lamentation. No song, but silence.
If dirges and planned lamentations could put off death, men would be singing forever. Take her. Go. You know your orders. Take her to the vault and leave her alone there. And if she lives or dies, that's her affair, not ours. Our hands are clean.
O tomb, vaulted bride bed and eternal rock, soon I shall be with my own again. And yet, as men's hearts know, I have done no wrong. I have not sinned before God. Come, let us wait no longer.
Oh, child, child, no power in wealth or war or tough sea-blackened ships can prevail against untiring destiny. But deathless fate finds means to build a tomb like yours.
This is the way the blind man comes. Princes, princes, lockstep, two heads lit by the eyes of one.
What new thing have you to tell us, old Teiresias?
I have much to tell you. Listen to the prophet, Creon.
I admit my debt to you, but what have you to say?
Listen, Creon. I was sitting in my chair of augury at the place where the birds gather about me. They were all a chatter, as is their habit, when suddenly I heard a strange note in their jangling, a scream, a whirring fury. I knew that they were fighting, tearing each other, dying in a whirlwind of wings clashing. And I was afraid. This was a sign from heaven. I tell you, Creon, you yourself have brought this new calamity upon us. Our hearths and altars are stained with the corruption of dogs and carrion birds that glut themselves on the corpse of Oedipus' son. The gods are deaf when we pray to them. Their fire recoils from our offering. Their birds of omen have no cry of comfort. These are no trifles. Think. All men make mistakes, but a good man yields when he knows his course is wrong and repairs the evil. The only crime is pride. Give in to the dead man, then do not fight with a corpse. What glory is it to kill a man who is dead? Think, I beg you, it is for your own good that I speak as I do. You should be able to yield for your own good.
No, Teiresias. If your birds, if the great eagles of God himself should carry him stinking bit by bit to heaven, I would not yield. Do what you will. Go into business, make money, speculate. Teiresias, it is a sorry thing when a wise man sells his wisdom, lets out his words for hire.
Oh, Creon, is there no man left in the world?
To do what? Come, let's have the aphorism.
No man who knows that wisdom outweighs any wealth.
As surely as bribes are baser than any baseness.
You are sick, Creon. You are deathly sick.
As you say, it is not my place to challenge a prophet.
Yet you have said my prophecy is for sale.
The generation of prophets has always loved gold. You have a certain skill, but you have sold out.
King, you will drive me to words that...
Say them. Only remember, I will not pay you for them.
No, you will find them too costly.
No doubt. Speak. Whatever you say, you will not change my will.
Then take this, and take it to heart. The time is not far off when you shall pay back corpse for corpse, flesh of your own flesh. You have thrust the child of this world into living night. You have kept from the gods below the child that is theirs, the one on a grave before her death, the other dead, denied the grave. This is your crime, and the furies and the dark gods of hell are swift with terrible punishment for you. These are my arrows, Creon. They are all for you.
The old man has gone, King, but his words remain to plague us. I am old too, but I cannot remember that he was ever false.
That is true. It troubles me. Oh, it is hard to give in, but it is worse to risk everything for stubborn pride.
Creon, take my advice.
What shall I do?
Go quickly. Free Antigone from her vault and build a tomb for the body of Polynices.
You would have me do this?
Creon, yes. And it must be done at once. God moves swiftly to cancel the folly of stubborn men.
It is hard to deny the heart, but I will do it. I will not fight with destiny.
You must go yourself. You cannot leave it to others.
I will go. Bring axes. Servants, come with me to the tomb. I buried her. I will set her free. Oh, quickly! My mind misgives. The laws of the gods are mighty.
God of many names, the flame of torches flares on our hills. Sing through the streets of Thebes.
God of many names, the shadow of plague is upon us. Come from Parnassus, down the long slopes, across the lamenting water.
Come with choric rapture, God of many names.
Men of the line of Cadmos, I cannot say of any condition of human life, this is fixed, this is clearly good or bad. Fate raises up and fate casts down the happy and unhappy alike. No man can foretell his fate. Take the case of Creon. Creon was happy once, as I count happiness, victorious in battle, sole governor of the land, fortunate father of children nobly born. And now it has all gone from him. Who can say that a man is still alive when his life's joy fails?
Your words hint at sorrow. What is your news for us?
They are dead. The living are guilty of their death.
Who is guilty? Who is dead? Speak.
Haimon. Haimon is dead, and the hand that killed him is his own hand.
His father's or his own?
His own, driven mad by the murder his father had done.
Teiresias, Teiresias, how clearly you saw it all.
This is my news. You must draw what conclusions you can from it.
But look, Eurydice, our queen. Has she overheard us?
I have heard something, friends. As I was unlocking the gate of Pallas's shrine, for I needed her help today, I heard a voice telling of some new sorrow. And I fainted there at the temple with all my maidens about me. But speak again, whatever it is, I can bear it. Grief and I are no strangers.
Dearest lady, I will tell you plainly all that I have seen. I shall not try to comfort you. What is the use? The truth is always best. I went with Creon to the outer plain where Polynices was laying. No friend to pity him, his body shredded by dogs. We made our prayers in that place, and we bathed the corpse with holy water, and we brought fresh broken branches to burn what was left of it. And upon the urn we heaped up a towering barrow of earth of his own land. When we were done, we ran to the vault where Antigone lay on her couch of stone. We saw her lying. She had made a noose of her fine linen veil and hanged herself. Haimon lay beside her, his arms about her waist, lamenting her, his love lost underground, crying out that his father has stolen her away from him. When Creon saw him, the tears rushed to his eyes, and he called to him, "Oh, my son, I come to you on my knees." But Haimon spat in his face. He said not a word, staring, and suddenly drew his sword and lunged. Creon shrank back. The blade missed, and the boy, desperate against himself, drove it half its length into his own side and fell. And as he died, he gathered Antigone close in his arms again, choking, his blood bright red on her white cheek. And now he lies dead with the dead, and she is his at last, his bride in the houses of the dead.
She has left us without a word. What can this mean?
It troubles me too, yet she knows what is best. Her grief is too great for public lamentation, and doubtless she has gone to her chamber to weep for her dead son, leading her maidens in his dirge.
It may be so, but I fear this deep silence.
I will see what she is doing. I will go in.
But here is the king himself.
Nothing you say can touch me anymore. My own blind heart has brought me from darkness to final darkness, and all my civic wisdom. Haimon, my son, so young to die. I was the fool, not you, and you died for me.
That is the truth, but you were late in learning it.
This truth is hard to bear. Surely a god has crushed me beneath the hugest weight of heaven and driven me headlong a barbaric way to trample out the thing I held most dear.
The burden you carry in your hands is heavy, but it is not all. You will find more in your house.
What burden worse than this shall I find there?
The queen is dead.
Oh, port of death! Deaf world, is there no pity for me? And you, angel of evil, I was dead, and your words are death again? Is it true? Can it be true? My wife is dead? Has death bred death?
She stood before the altar, and her heart welcomed the knife her own hand guided, and she fell, and the dark flowed in through her closing eyes.
Oh, God, I am sick with fear. Are there no swords here? Has no one a blow for me?
Her curse is upon you for the deaths of both.
It is right that it should be. I alone am guilty. I know it, and I say it. Lead me in quickly, friends. I have neither life nor substance. Lead me in.
You are right. If there can be right in so much wrong, the briefest way is best in a world of sorrow.
Let it come. Let death come quickly and be kind to me. I would not ever see the sun again. Lead me away. I have been rash and foolish. I have killed my son and my wife. I look for comfort. My comfort lies here dead. Whatever my hands have touched has come to nothing.
There is no happiness where there is no wisdom. No wisdom but in submission to the gods. Big words are always punished, and proud men in old age learn to be wise.
We hope that you have enjoyed this audio presentation of Antigone by Sophocles. The play has been adapted from an English translation by Dudley Fitz and Robert Fitzgerald. Special thanks to Tony Novelli, David Wolf, and Steve Decker for technical support. All of the projects of the Fall 2020 Online Repertory Theater can be viewed at our ORT webpage at www.mendocino.edu/ORT or on the Mendocino College Theater Arts Department YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us.